Well, summer is one of the busiest times of the year for the Boundary Waters, but the Superior National Forest Service has had to make some changes to its office hours, and it's affecting some people hoping to get out into the wilderness. Northern News Now's Jeffrey McClure made the trip up the shore to learn why.
A small change is affecting people hoping to visit the wilderness up north. The Superior National Forest Service has reduced office hours in 3 of their 6 locations, including the Ranger Station in Tofty. According to the Superior National Forest, these locations are closed Monday and Tuesday because it's the days they issue the least amount of permits.
A lot of this comes down to the labor market, right? Where we're able to hire and recruit people. Obviously, similar to other labor markets, it's tough to recruit people to live on the North Shore. It's just a high cost of living.
The closure's now impacting how and when you can pick up permits needed to enter the Boundary Waters. BWCA permits that have been reserved by visitors need to be picked up. According to Hall, all quota permit holders were contacted following the announcement to change their location of pickup.
There's definitely a demand. We recognize that. Thankfully, we do have cooperators that also help to issue Boundary Waters permits.
One co-operator just north of Tofty, Sawbill Canoe Outfitters, hasn't seen much of an impact.
We're right in the heart of the Tofty district, close to all the entry points, and we probably issue 1,500 permits a year, which is on par with a lot of the ranger stations. So for us to issue a few extra permits during this their office hour closure is really not a big deal for us.
We reached out to other outfitters who say they are also dealing with staffing shortages, with the Forest Service leaning on them for support. They say they have been stressed by the additional traffic. Shirley, on the other hand, is happy visitors can see his store.
Having a few extra people come through the door is frankly nice. We're not only a canoe outfitter, but we're also a unique general store in the woods. So if folks stop in only to get a permit from us, chances are they'll find something else they want to pick up.
In Tofty, Jeffrey McClure, Northern News Now.
Jeffrey, thank you. Now, the other 2 locations affected by the change are the LaCroix and Gunflint Ranger offices. All stations are expected to return to normal hours on October 1st when the permit season ends.